Hello friends, my name is May Slusser. I first learned about the Interfaith Council from my grandfather, and now I am fortunate enough to have a mother who is also a part of this great organization and is a current co-chair. The Interfaith Council started very humbly in November of 2004. Some of the Christian clergy in the Murrieta area invited themselves to speak at a service to be held the Sunday evening before Thanksgiving. That was the beginning of what would become the Night of Gratitude. This continued for about 2 years, and they decided to meet more regularly. They met once a month at Farmer Boy's restaurant on Kalmia Street for breakfast. More clergy were invited from congregations other than Christianity. A Muslim imam and a Jewish rabbi joined the group as well, and several others. The group began to come to life, and the meetings were changed to lunch at Pat and Oscar's with attendance of 20 to 30 people. The Night of Gratitude attendance swelled to become 200 to 300 people. As a means to share a form of each congregation's worship, the Night of Music was added to the public outreach gatherings in 2008. Both the Night of Gratitude and the Night of Music have been well attended and hosted by many congregations in the area ever since. The group went from being tolerant of one another's beliefs to appreciating each other's beliefs and to defending each other's beliefs. In the fall of 2010, the Islamic Center of Temecula applied for a conditional use permit to build a new mosque on Nicholas Road. The application came to the Temecula Planning Commission, which is the entity with the authority to approve or deny these types of projects. A group of people appealed the decision, and the application was sent to the City Council for another public hearing. Before the appeal was heard, a protest against the mosque was planned to occur at the temporary mosque building. With only a day and a half notice, the Interfaith Council came to defend the mosque. The supporters of the mosque, which were mainly the Interfaith Council, their families and friends, wore white shirts and filled the parking lot in front of the building. The protesters were affected in such a way that they didn't even come close to the mosque, but stood across the street watching all the white shirts in disbelief. The only ones who were in front of the building were the Channel 7 News. In January of 2011, the City Council held a meeting that would determine if the mosque could be built. The meeting had 110 people who took their 3-minute opportunity to speak their piece. The building's air conditioning system was running at full speed in an attempt to cool down the heated meeting. The mosque was approved at 3:30 a.m. in the morning with a vote of 5-0. Although the mosque would have likely been approved without the support of the Interfaith Council, it was an opportunity for the council to stand together for a brother and a sister of another faith. The Interfaith Council still stands together. We stood together with Hope Lutheran when they needed help with landscaping. We stood together when we worshiped with Temple Beth Shalom after the Squirrel Hill shooting. And we stood together last year with the members of the Temecula Islamic Center after the horrific shooting in New Zealand. How blessed I am to be raised in a family who defends freedom and loves people of all faiths. Last year, President Russell M. Nelson of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints met with the Pope at the Vatican. President Nelson said, "The differences in doctrine are real. They are important, but they are not nearly as important as things we have in common. Our concern for human suffering, our desire and the importance of religious liberty for all society, and the importance of building bridges of friendships instead of building walls of segregation." And now I am involved in the planning and implementation of the Youth Interfaith Council. We will see more about our last activity later this evening in another post as the organization grows to include future generations. I will now read the mission statement of the Interfaith Council of Murrieta and Temecula Valley. I hope with a bit more background on this wonderful organization, you will now feel the reverent nature in which we all gather. We, people of diverse religions, spiritual expressions, and various traditions, established the Interfaith Council of the Murrieta and Temecula Valley to promote enduring interfaith cooperation toward ending religiously motivated prejudice and to help create an equitable society. The Interfaith Council is a body of faith-based community representatives and individuals open to all who seek to unite in mutual support, study, dialogue, and action. We acknowledge the God-given dignity and equality of all people, share respect and compassion for all, regardless of beliefs, race, gender, age, or abilities. We embrace and seek to be a collective, spiritual voice for human rights and justice for all. Thank you.